Like this, like baby punk. Like what is this? A little baby. Is anyone gonna watch this? Well, maybe once you get to 30 states, then it'll be a reality TV show. You know, almost like a scary movie. Like I have no idea what it's gonna be like.
Right.
Are they gonna be okay? Like, am I gonna be sleeping in a rat-infested shed? Like, totally could be. I don't know if all of your interviews like go like that. But I'm like.
Why do you host Travelers?
Well, the main reason I host Travelers is because they're cool and awesome and fun. It's nice to make new friends. And they help at the farm. And they help in major ways. And farmers usually have a very hard time traveling. So we can't go anywhere, but people can come to us. And it's kind of like this vibe of like, you know, this girl Maddie was just here and it's like, Louisiana's in the house, you know, or like this girl Lilan was just here straight up from China. So, you know, people come internationally, domestically. I like to host people. I like to help people. I like to get help myself. I think it's generally a huge part of my social life is hosting. And then, well, basically, a lot of it depends on who I live with here, too. Like, if I live with a girlfriend here who doesn't want woofers to be here, then it's not fun to be a host, you know? But if it's just me and the guest room is just for my schedule of woofers, then I will, one summer I had like 40 different people, you know? And 6 people at a time. And, you know, crazy fun and all this stuff because I'm the boss. So now it's like that, so... It depends on who your roommate is, whether you can host or not.
Right. How does hosting make your life different?
There's a lot of serendipity about hosting, I feel. Like, you can connect with a person on a really intimate level. Like, not sexual, you know, or potentially maybe. But, like, just a really intimate level of connection when you're chilling with someone. You know, you wake up and you're like, okay, let's make some coffee. Like, I can't do anything until we have some coffee and breakfast. And, you know, I like to play a little reggae music because it's like early in the morning and we know we have a lot of shit to do. And just like set a vibe. And usually by the end of 2 days, we've shared each other's life stories. You know, if someone's staying at your house, you're cooking together, you're eating together, you're working together. You have a long drive to and from the farm.
Right.
And you know that your relationship has an end date. So you might as well just divulge everything that you can about what you've learned and who you are and, you know, what things are coming to be and your take on the world, your perspective, to listen to them. And it's a short-term friendship, but you can cultivate it very deeply in a short term. So my life changes with every new woofer that I host because so often they're so awesome and so different. And I don't know what it's like to live in the places where they're from. But, you know, meeting more and more people, it really broadens your horizons about like just what life is like in different geographical regions of like-minded people.
Have you had one experience in particular hosting people that has been like super memorable?
The stories are endless. I have a canon of stories. It's like it could be like the Three Musketeers, you know, of just different groups of. And my favorite thing is when, you know, one person from a totally like this end of what they're doing is woofing at my place with another person from a totally different lived experience, and to see them connect, and it's like it's not me, it's them, them opening their minds to each other and just goofing and laughing and working and throwing tomatoes at each other, or just like silly stuff. Like I think the most poignant experiences are just like a dumb joke that someone makes up on the spot and everyone else is like doubled over laughing because we're all doing the same thing and we've been doing it all week, you know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, if you want to talk about specific people and specific experiences, then like get out your Excel spreadsheet because it's very complicated.
Yeah.
A dude from India who's living in Fremont, a dancer from Detroit, another dancer from France, you, sir, Mr. Iowa / 50 states in 50 years, a young girl from Louisiana, you know, so like backwater and like saying all this weird shit about fucking Louisiana stuff, woofing at the same time as this girl, Anna Wang, you know, not to name drop, but she's like the startup of like, you know, she's the founder of a new startup in Silicon Valley on like artificial intelligence robotics. Like, it's like that kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
A lesbian couple that was so adorable and so helpful and almost the best of the summer from the Chicago area. And I've been a woofer before too, so I think that like lends me a valuable perspective on how to host people. Like, it doesn't matter how long they're staying. It doesn't matter how short they're staying. Like, you know, give them a clean towel and like a nice bed to sleep in and like welcome them to your home and tell them about what food they can eat and, you know, how to feel comfortable. It's like olden days hospitality shit. Like, that's my take on this whole exchange thing, is like, if you are kind of an old-timey type person and you think it's cool to trust strangers, you know, who are generally trustworthy because they're participating in this program that's a cultural exchange program, then like it's a great place to just like open your home to people and embrace it.
If you could sum up one complaint about the typical American lifestyle, what
sedentary. It's so I mean, the typical American lifestyle is you're just gonna sit until your bones become fused into a sitting position. And the only way to make money is by selling advertisements to annoy people on their phones and computers and TV. It's like, if you want to break away from the complaint of America, woofing or nomadic lifestyle or traveler's, you know, perspective is a great way to do so, because this is something I learned in college from a professor that I'm not sure whether they were just blowing smoke or whether it was like actually verifiable, but they said the more time that you spend sitting versus the more time that you spend interacting with the world or walking or standing, it has a direct correlation with your like just general health and well-being, right? You know? And I heard that and I was like, that changed my life, you know? And they said, okay, well, here's a group of people who spend the most steps per day, or what, like, this is what all Americans are like trying to go after with their little like, gotta get in my step, like faking, you know, fake steps. It's like, I don't want to do fake shit. I want my metabolism to be moving towards a goal, which is feeding communities and people. Like, I don't want to go, you know, do fake work that earns me money in a cheap and dirty way because I'm just annoying people by buzzing in their ear about buy some crap, you know, buy some crap financial product, buy a crappy financial product, you know.
Yeah.
I want my like energy and like pulse and heart rate and stuff to be doing stuff like, oh, well, I'm gonna serve you some delicious chives, like, and I mean not even chives because that's almost like the finance crap of like the produce industry, but like, you know, like real vegetables, like, like that's like, you know, there's a thing about like all the, you know, heady, like, Karl Marx and the Metabolic Rift, and like how people's energy and inertia and life force can be spent in a way that's like a positive benefit on the environment, communities, the world, their own families and well-being, versus like a more like dark way of like making money. And I just was like, you know, growing up, my dad's Buddhist, and he's always trying to like, well, this is what Thich Nhat Hanh says, and like Jack Kornfield's like has this perspective, and like you may want to consider like a way where you can have a career that like follows like a mindfulness path. And it's like, okay, Dad, like
I dig your dad.
I know, but you never even met him. But I know that's totally him. Like,
it's awesome.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, after somebody says a bunch of stuff to you, it gets in your head, and it totally got in my head, and I realized farming is a very hard way of life, extremely physically, emotionally, and mentally demanding.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risk inherent in it. But you know that at the end of the day, your hard work, especially in organic farming, the fruits of your labor is someone else's nutrition. You know, it is not a fake. You know, we're living in the future right now, and it's like almost like we are all just sitting on hovercrafts and finding ways to not do anything or whatever. I mean, it's such a complicated reality that we live in 2018. But I know that there's a basic wholesomeness to organic farming. And I can always rely on, oh, things are hard, you know, bad luck happened, but at the end of the day, my pursuit and my work and the work of the people that I bring into my fold through woofing and stuff like that is that, you know, vitamins are being eaten by people because it's green leafy vegetables and super healthy stuff grown in an environmentally conscious way locally. So I know that like even if I die like poor in a pauper's grave, like whatever, compost me, like I don't care, but I know that my life's work was, you know, feeding thousands of school kids fresh cucumbers and yummy cherry tomatoes and getting them jazzed on veggies, you know, donating tons and tons of like tomatoes that are a little too soft or cucumbers that are a little too wilty or anything to my local communities here where people want organic food, you know, and may not be able to pay for it. But, you know, the whole point is I never have to go to bed thinking about like, what has my life become and how did I get this far? And it's not where I want to be because this is where I want to be now. Like with these fucking chives chilling, that cat looking at the pumpkin, and you, because you're my friend, you know?